Right, so in this lesson we're tackling some more log equations. These are all natural logs, right? So remember what this ln notation means is just a log base e. So all of our problems in this lesson are going to have that number e in them. And we're essentially following similar steps to last time. Notice though, this one has one log in it, and then it has some numbers outside that log. So instead of trying to condense our logarithms, what we still want just one logarithm by itself on one side. So our steps this time are going to be these. Okay, so instead of condensing, our goal now is to isolate the logarithm, meaning get it by itself. Sort of like if we had an equation like this, if we had x squared plus 1 equals 5, what we'd want to do is we'd want to subtract that 1 on both sides. We want to isolate the square root before we worried about it. We're doing the same thing here. So we're going to get ln by itself. All right, so my move here is going to be, if this was 2x minus 1 instead of 2 log of all this minus 1, we would know what the move is. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to add 1 on both sides. Rewrite everything else ahead of that. We haven't touched it. And then our -1 cancels, and we're left with -4 on the right. Now notice I could square that inside. I could bring this inside the log if I wanted to, but it's actually easier if I just divide by 2 on both sides. And then my natural log is isolated. And then here I'm going to rewrite it. Okay, so remember ln of a equals b means that e to the b equals a, right? Because this is really just a log with base e, right? So in this case, e to the -2 equals 8x plus 9 is how I rewrite that. Now here, we might be unsure of ourselves. Our goal is still to isolate x, so x is what we're trying to find. And because it says the exact value of x, what that means is to leave e in there. So hopefully you remember from an earlier video that e is just a number, it's 2 point something 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 something. I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to type e to the -2 on my calculator. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to isolate x. So what that's going to look like, so we do -9 on both sides and get e to the -2 minus 9 equals 8x. And then I'm going to divide by 8, just like I would always. So my final answer is going to be x equals e to the -2 minus 9 over -8. And I'm going to type it in exactly like that, so this is my solution. So x is isolated and my answer has an e in it. That's going to be true for all of the problems you solve in this little lesson. We'll do one more. Again, stop, capture this in your notes, and make sure you understand how I got what I got. If not, go back and rewatch. So this is another example. Notice it looks a lot like our last one, just with different numbers in it, right? And that's going to be true of all of these. They're all going to look really similar. So we're going to isolate our logarithm, which means I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides, and then divide by 4 on both sides. And then remember, this is a logarithm base e, so we're going to rewrite this as e to the second equals, what's inside the log? 8x minus 2. And then e I'm going to leave in there, and I just want to isolate x. So I'm going to add 2 on both sides. I get e squared plus 2 equals 8x. And then I'm going to divide by 8, so I'll get x equals e squared plus 2 all over 8. So just like the last one, I got x isolated. My answer has e to a power in it, but x is by itself over here. Okay. So all the problems in this lesson look like this. Make sure you have good examples captured in your notes. And if you get stuck, come back to this video or watch the Delta Math video or reach out for help.